What I found out by walking by faith in God is that it could be challenging at times, very challenging, because it puts you in a position where you're operating out of you. Well, not out of you. It's like your human nature no longer competes with what God is calling you to do. It's like I can no longer walk the way Sarah walks. I have to walk the way God wants me to walk. And that can be challenging because He'll tell you to do some things that doesn't make sense. Just gonna keep it real. Doesn't make sense. And but when you do them, you begin to see the manifestation of the things that He has for your life, your purpose, why you're here. And recently He told me to leave my job. I worked for the state 13 years, and I had always told my coworkers, when I leave this job, I'm working in full-time ministry. But I thought that I would have a husband and then he would call me, but it didn't happen that way. He told me to leave, and I did. Well, it turns out that I am working in full-time ministry right now, and I'm loving it. No, I don't have the husband yet, but I'm loving it. I know that there are a lot of Christians who say they walk by faith, but really, you will see when a person walks by faith by their actions. Talk is cheap, but when you see them walking, literally walking by faith, you know that they truly are. And so for me, walking by faith made a lot of people very skeptical about the decisions I was making for my life, okay? And they didn't believe me. Are you sure God told you? Well, you're taking this faith walk too far, and what are you going to do if this happens or that doesn't happen? And I told them that I have to trust God. God is calling me to this, and I'm leaving the consequences to Him. And that's what I did. I'm walking by faith, not knowing what will happen today or tomorrow. I didn't know that when I was working with the state, but at the same time, God was showing me that He was the one that provided for me. He was the one who gave me the job. He was the one who gave me all the things that I have. It was never me. And so when I think about walking away from it, my season was up there. And so when we think about what's going to happen to our lives if we take this move of what leap of faith in God, when He's calling me to do this, you leave those consequences up to Him, because He's the one telling you to do it. He will provide for you, and He's providing for me. I'm not lacking in anything. I still live the same way. There's nothing that changed about me. And so what I want to tell you is that, people will talk about you. They'll look at you like you're strange and treat you like you're strange, like you're taking this thing too far. Or are you sure this is what He told you? Oh, yeah, I'm sure. You know why I'm sure? Because I fellowship with God daily. I have a personal relationship with Him. I spend time with Him every day. And so when you go before God every day and spend quality time with Him, He speaks to you. You know it's not you. And you know it's not the enemy speaking to you. You know it's God. And so the more you press into God, He begins to speak to you more and more. And He begins to direct your path. And that's what He's been doing for me. I've never been more happier in my life than I am right now. Because my focus is on Him. What He's called me to do. How He wants me to be. No, I'm not perfect. And no, every day is not a great day. However, I stay focused on God because I know He's in control of my life. And so when I fellowship with Him, when I spend time with Him, when I go before Him every day, He gives me peace. He gives me joy. He tells me what to do and what not to do. He leads me and guides me. He protects me. So there's no fear of what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't have to go through that because I know God's on my side. His word says that he's with us. He will not fail us, and he will not forsake us. I believe that. And so that's why I live by his word. I live by a relationship with him, an intimate relationship with him. So when you get there, you will take serious faith walks. Don't be afraid. Know that God is still in control. God bless. Realrap.